Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Craptastic Jack channel. Hope you're all having a great day as always. So Ubisoft today has announced Ubisoft Quartz, which is a new NFT program for NFTs to be able to be made and sold on Ubisoft Games. I'm not going to get into the full definition of what an NFT is. There's plenty of Google searches out there, and it's quite, you have to have NFTs wrapped around your head. Think of an NFT as you owning a painting, like an original artwork painting, and that has a serial number on it, and you can track by serial number who has that property, who has that painting. That's basically what an NFT is. You've been seeing these monkey pictures around, and those are NFTs on the blockchain where you have unique serial numbers tied to people who have bought it. So basically, they're implementing the same thing into Ubisoft games, where you have cosmetics that have their own unique serial number, which are tied to players. And what they showed off is each player who buys and sells or obtains this NFT, digital NFT, will have their name registered. Like, it shows a register of who owned it, and who sold it, and how much for, and all that type of stuff. So Ubisoft thought it was a good idea to implement these NFTs as items in Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. I feel so sorry for Tom Clancy. He's probably rolling in his grave. He's rolling in his grave, probably, seeing all the shit that they're doing with his name. People can sell these items on third-party sites for crypto. So you could theoretically invest in your money in a Ubisoft game and receive and make profit off of a Ubisoft game through the sale of these NFTs. The closest thing in gaming I can think of are items in Team Fortress 2. I love Team Fortress 2. Personally, have made not a whole lot of money, but I've made money buying items and then selling them at a higher value later. That's actually the closest thing I can think of. But at the same time, you have items that are rare and you have items that are common. They're not on the blockchain. There's no crypto involved. It's all sold on Steam's site, where you can actually sell items for actual money. Now, here's the part in the video where we bring in the Crew 2. The Crew 2 has Vanity Items, which you can pay real world money for. You can pay in-game bucks for. You earn them through, what's it called? The Summit. What's stopping Ubisoft from implementing NFTs into the Crew 2? Like, oh, the top 5% of players, if you get a platinum, imagine if you get a platinum in a Summit, you get a special item. But that item can also be sold on the blockchain as an NFT, and you could make real world money off of that. Like, what's stopping Ubisoft from doing that? If they're putting this into Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, what's stopping them from putting that in the Crew 2 or any other Ubisoft game for that matter? Nothing. Literally nothing. Aside from the fact that the Crew 2 is definitely aimed at the Fortnite crowd, it's definitely aimed at kids. The vanity items that they add into the Crew 2 are fucking revolting, to say the least. Not that they're like terrible, it's just they're disgusting. They look awful. So what's stopping Ubisoft from adding in these terrible looking vanity items that have their own serial numbers? Like, you have a special window tint or like a special underglow that has its own serial number backed up on a blockchain that you could sell to another person for real world crypto. That just wraps my mind around. You could literally have investors buying the Crew 2, investing money in the Crew 2 items, and then selling it for profit. I never thought that's like a sentence I would make in 2021, but here we are. Overall, personally, on paper, it sounds like a good idea, but Ubisoft, they have not put out a game that has banged, in my personal opinion, since Watch Dogs 2. There may be a game I'm missing in between Watch Dogs 2 and now, but personally, I don't feel any of their games have banged since Watch Dogs 2. And just behind the scenes, Ubisoft is a very shady company. A lot of the allegations we're hearing, that's a whole different story. I'm not ready to put my trust in Ubisoft, especially now when it seems they're really just chasing after the free-to-play crowd, and they're doing everything they can to try and make as much money as possible without making anything actually creative. I remember we touched on the subject of there being a possible like free-to-play Crew game, because they're focusing on adding free-to-play experiences for all of their major franchises. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that we will see a future Crew game, or even the Crew 2, go free to play and add in non-fungible tokens as a way to monetize the game. Honestly, that's not outside the realm of possibilities, and I don't think I'm ready to see a gaming atmosphere where NFTs are being sold and traded in games that are supposed to be about fucking racing. I am an investor. I invest in the stock market. I'm more so a passive investor. I also have some investments in crypto. I'm not a trader. I'm not one of those people you're gonna be finding trading. I'm a long hold person, and I thought crypto was stupid at first, but here I am a couple years later investing in it. So NFTs, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what they specifically are. There may be a use for NFTs, but seeing all those monkey photos and everything, it just, I still think they're kind of stupid. But who knows, my mind 2 years, 3 years from now, my opinion may change. Seeing the future of The Crew as a franchise, I never thought NFTs would be a thing, but here we are. It could very well be the realm of possibilities. And I'm not the only person here who thinks this is kind of dumb. You look at the comment section, it's almost entirely negative. But Ubisoft dropped this video coincidentally like a week after YouTube removed dislikes. So we have a 100% like to dislike ratio. Again, with Ubisoft, I do not fully trust Ubisoft. On paper, this sounds like a good idea, being able to make money off of playing video games and owning property in your video games. But I have a feeling it's just a recipe for disaster, and it will take away from the core gameplay experience. The developers should be focusing on actual content available in the game, you know? The Crew 2 already has that issue where they're not really focusing on the right things. Them adding in NFTs to video games, that's just another thing they have to focus on, as opposed to actual good gameplay, you know? So I have a feeling this could be a recipe for disaster. That's it for me tonight. What do you guys think about this? Be sure to leave your opinions down in the comment section down below. That's it for me tonight. I will see you all later.